Dude, when we started this brand, we wanted to start a brand that gave back to skateboarding.
Alright man, for many, skateboarding's become more than just a sport. It's their whole way of life. This kid Torey's been coming here every single day since we opened.
Hi, my name's Torey Pudwill. I'm 10 years old, and I've been skating for 3 years. Hope you like my video fun.
I first met Torey when he was probably 7 or 8, just a little kid, maybe even younger. We were building Skate Lab. Torey and his brother Jesse and his dad all came to check it out before we opened.
Skate Lab was so cool to me. It was like the first time I ever went to a skate park, and it was out of this world to me.
The day we opened the door, him and his brother were the first 2 kids in line. Probably for, 6, 8 years, he would come to Skate Lab every single day.
Skate Lab's my roots. It's my home, it's my family. If it wasn't for this place, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be able to start this company. And those people have been looking out for skateboarders for over 20 years. So this place, I think, is an icon in skateboard history forever.
Some of the things you'll see here in the museum are the earliest boards ever. We have the largest collection of homemade skateboards. And who knows how far back they go, at least the 50s, if not even the 30s. You're gonna see skate cars. Every single magazine, every single video. Lance Mountain donated like 400 videos and a bunch of magazines, and that's all part of our library, which you'll be able to come as part of Skate Lab U to study that stuff. We're gonna have a timeline. When you walk in, it'll be the oldest boards, then we get into the 60s, which are like the sidewalk surfers. Then we get into the 70s when the urethane wheel began. And then we got stuff from the 80s and 90s. And then we're also gonna have an art space. So we're gonna do revolving art gallery shows, photography shows. We'll have a tribute to all the people in the Hall of Fame, all 88 people. We'll have a board and a photograph. But in 2009, we had our first induction ceremony, and we became a nonprofit in 2012. And the donations are what built this entire space. The collection I already had on my own, but the space itself, the build outs, the ramp, that's all done on donation.
We're gonna make a thank you board for the Skateboard Hall of Fame and Museum to keep this place up and running. Proceeds from the sale of that board are gonna go towards donation to keep this place alive. Every time I see all this stuff, every single time, it just gets more and more important to me. All of this stuff means a lot for skateboard's history.
You're coming to a skateboard museum, and we want you to be able to learn not only how to skateboard, but how it started. Tony Hawk wasn't the first skateboarder, you know? I'm not kidding you, a lot of kids don't know that. You know, the first boards, like the ones behind me, they're roller skates nailed to wood. So when skateboarding started, you couldn't even buy a skateboard. Like there was no store, you had to make your own board. Like without a guy like Jay Adams, for example, like we might not even be here right now. There's people that had to survive through the worst equipment and ride these boards and keep doing it. That's how fun it was for the next guy and for the next guy and the next guy. And when you come here, you'll see the evolution of how it went from the worst possible riding circumstances to the best possible.
I met Day One at Skate Lab too in '98. It was cool. He was just skating there, and he was cool enough to give me his time and say what up. And you know, he was really nice to my parents as well. So my mom is in love with Day One. She always says like, oh, who's that Korean guy? Daewon Song? He's my favorite skater. Yeah, we ended up being teammates for 10 years on DVS, traveled the world together. He put me on his board brand, Almost. Now, years later, we're starting our own brand together called Thank You.
I've been coming here since it was just 2 little bumps and a quarter pipe in the far corner, and that's all. And it was bringing the community together, all these kids getting them out of trouble and bringing them all here. And then, you know, now it's been shut down for over 3 years. It's just like, it's heartbreaking.
We never expected anything of this. We thought, oh, we're gonna build a little quarter pipe under the freeway, you know, hopefully get to skate it for a few months. I mean, we were inspired by Burnside, we were inspired by Washington Street. We went through trying to get public skate parks built here for years, and it turned into dead-end streets constantly. So we said, screw it, let's try building this place at a spot we have down here. Didn't really think it was going to amount to anything, and it just kind of blossomed. It just kept going.
I had been coming off and on, here and there. Then I started coming a lot. Then I dedicated almost 6 months to just come here and skate all the time. So, dude, I've always been scared of like stuff like this. And this place made me not scared of it, and it made me man up to certain types of things. And like I said, it did a lot for me. It did a lot for this community. It did a lot for these kids, and it's built careers. I feel like us being able to do a board and dedicate it to this place, dedicate it to what it's done for me, and to sell it in those sales to go to like help opening back up this place, it's going to be super important, and I think it's going to be amazing.
We managed to get through the Department of Planning, so our plans have been okayed, and now we move on to the next step. I'm actually making a phone call today about it with some officials of going through Department of Building and Safety to make sure everything is legit. We've already done a couple of things and it passed those tests. So after that, it's getting liability insurance again. It's repairing some of the areas that the contractor for the freeway had to tear out. There's a lot of things to be done still. Getting through planning was a big hurdle, but there's a lot more to do.
I just want to thank everybody here that helped put this place together, the whole SPSA crew. Thank you for what you guys did for me and what this place did for me. And hopefully we can get this place back open.